Hey, welcome back to another Origin Showcase. In this video, we're going to be showcasing the Voidwalker Origin created by Paimon the Voidwalker from the Origin's Discord server. This Origin starter pack is for version 1.17.1/1.17. It works best in those versions. You might be able to work in 1.16, but I promise that something might probably break. You also need the extra keybinds mod as well in order to use with this Origin. It's got a few active abilities that you need it for. The Voidwalker is a 3-impact Origin, meaning it has a maximum amount of impact upon the game. Going through the description, the Voidwalker is a human infused with void energy. This gives a human the capability to cultivate, manifest, and control void energy after acting as a battery and a conduit for said energy. This gives a human the ability to manipulate space-time. Anyhow, there are over 115,000 of you guys who continuously watch multiple videos on my channel. I highly appreciate if any of you guys would just check down below to see if you're actually subscribed, as a lot of people just tend to forget to do that, as well as YouTube tends to unsubscribe you from people's channels. Also, I've been streaming a lot on Twitch lately, so make sure to go check me out over there, and without further ado, let's get into the actual ability. Moving into the first active ability, we have Blink. You can slip through space-time at will and appear a short distance away. So this is your primary ability. The gist behind this ability is that every time you press your primary ability button, you'll teleport about 10 blocks in front of your direction that you're looking at. You will also take 1 heart of damage each and every time you use this ability. This ability is on an extraordinarily short cooldown, but one with a little bit of a weird quirk that comes with the ability is the fact that it doesn't always activate every time you hit the primary ability button. Sometimes it's a bit weird and doesn't ever activate, and sometimes it just activates immediately many times in a row, as you'll watch with how I do it in the gameplay here. How we go from, like, I press it a few times, like you see it actively go a few times and stop for a bit and then go again and stop for a bit, and then sometimes just spam in quick rapid succession. This ability can kill you if you overuse it, as this ability will take a single heart of damage every single time you use the ability. So because it's got a very short cooldown, it's got to give you some other punishment for overusing the ability. Moving into your next active ability, you've got Levitation. Gravity bends to your will. You have the capability to levitate freely in space, creating your own leverage from absolutely nothing. This is your secondary ability. Once you press your secondary ability key, you will need to either climb up the side of a wall or hold the spacebar button to actually levitate, but there's a little bit of a catch when it comes to this ability. This ability doesn't have any form of a cooldown. Instead, you'll take half a heart of damage every second this ability is active for, regardless of whether you're actually using the levitation to float up at all, whether you're still on the ground after you press the button. You'll be taking half a heart of damage every second. Just off the first 2 abilities alone, I feel this is a very interesting take on how you do some form of cooldown. Instead of having an actual cooldown to it, instead you'll take damage for however long you use it for, or for using the ability in the first place. Moving into your next active ability, you've got Gravity Manipulation, the generation of a singularity that drastically changes the magnitude of gravity in local space. This ability is your ternary active ability, meaning that it requires your ternary key to use this ability. This is where you start to need to use extra keybinds in order to actively use some of these Origin abilities. This ability is very weird when you first use it, because you might not quite understand what exactly is going to happen when you use it, but what exactly happens is that you'll get given a massive amount of slowness, which will make your FOV zoom right on in, as well as the fact that you will take 4 hearts of damage on your character whenever you use this ability. So what this ability does, what do you want to use it for? What do you want to do the ability for, and why does it take you 4 hearts? Because when you use this ability, all the mobs within range will float up to over 10, 15, 20 blocks before they drop right back down and almost always will die. This pretty much gives whatever mobs within the circle near you 0 gravity, and they'll float high up into the sky, or as high as they possibly can, before the ability runs out and they'll drop right back down. So really, this is a fun way to kill mobs that are annoying you, or when you get surrounded by a huge collection of mobs, is a good way to get them off your back and watch them drop back down and die. Moving into your final active ability, you have Chaotic Accelerant. When you gain strength when overcharged with void energy, this overcharge makes you a glass cannon and multiplies all damage dealt and received. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite find out how this ability properly works. I did get myself a full set of void charge. I did make sure to pretty much bind a key to every single different type of extra key bind and continue to test them all. I just couldn't get this ability to work whatsoever. So I don't know if it's a bug or whether I'm just dumb. Either way, the idea behind this, from what I'm getting from the description, is it makes you a glass cannon and uses up your void charge. The description in the Discord says it lasts a total of 3 minutes, this glass cannon ability. Anyway, moving on to your passive abilities, we start off with the void charge. Now, there's one little thing that I didn't mention in all throughout all the abilities, is the fact that you have another way of going around the actual health loss. Because you see, there's an extra bar called your void charge. Now, whenever you're near any form of bedrock or crying obsidian, you can gain this void charge passively. You can also gain some of it as well when you kill enemies, but it has like a very medium-ish cooldown in between how long you can actually get it from the enemy. So you kill an enemy and then you got like about 10-30 seconds before you can do another kill to get more of that void charge. But if you have any void charge on you, the abilities will use your void charge first before they actually start taking any of your actual health. Now the glass cannon is the only thing that won't actively do this one. The glass cannon does require you to have a full bar of void charge in order for you to activate the ability, but all the other 3 abilities will use your health if you don't have enough void charge to go through. Moving on to your next passive ability, you've got Path of the Void. Path of the Void grants a more durable skin, but with a cost of a diminished life force. Ultimately, this is more of a nerf than a buff, as it does take away 3 of your hearts, leaving you with 7 instead of the normal 10, and only giving you 1 single armor point in return for this lesser health. Moving into your next passive ability, you've got Field Focus. Due to the nature of the Voidwalker, you no longer feel the need to use the shield, instead focusing more on dodges. This is just another way of saying that you can't use your shields like you normally would as a normal Minecraft player, so shields are completely and utterly useless. But another thing that probably comes within this one, or maybe not, I don't know, because it's not actually explained in the actual origin itself, but you don't take full damage either with this origin anymore, as that's completely removed as well. So hey, you don't need to worry about fall damage at all, but your foes definitely do, because you'll cause them to float up into the air. A nice thing the creators actually added at the end of all the origin abilities is and all the active ability passives that you will gain using these origin abilities. Blink will cause a temporary blindness while shifting through space-time. Using gravity manipulation, you'll be pulled down by the singularity you've created, temporarily inhibiting your movement. Using chaotic accelerant will overcharge your body with void energy. This overflow of void energy constantly is being extracted from your body, causing a purple glow around yourself. It will also act as a lens over your eyes. Some other cool things about this ability, this origin itself, it actually makes your name purple in chat. Now I'm pretty sure this also works within server worlds as well, because it comes with the actual colorization of the origin data pack itself, which I find to be a really extra cool little bit to the origin itself. And yeah, what do you think of this origin? Let me know down in the comments down below. As always, let me know, do you think it's overpowered? Do you think it's underpowered? Do you think there could be some more to it? What do you think of the actual different idea of, instead of having cooldowns with your abilities, it uses a bar of energy. When this bar of energy runs out, instead of you being unable to use your abilities, it actually starts taking your health when you use a majority of these abilities. I honestly think that's a really cool new way to go around these type of origin changes, and instead of using default normal cooldown techniques and things along those lines, you actually take health damage if you tend to ignore your cooldowns or tend to ignore your actual bar that you might want to charge up, so you don't have to worry about taking health damage. Either way, as always, comment down below your thoughts on this origin. Do you have any changes? If you have an origin of your own, make sure to DM me on Discord with them, or put them in the comments down below. Whilst I might see them, it also is easier just to DM me on Discord with the data pack, or maybe a link directly to where it is in the Origins Discord server. As always, I've been your host, 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to slap the like button, slap the subscribe button. Massive thank you to my channel members, especially my $25 channel members, Saturn and Hollow the Void, my $10 channel member, 𝓵𝓲𝓷𝓴𝓼, and until next time, guys, goodbye!